Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, as I bring you exciting news, fantastic news, big news, just like Big News Morgans would say. I have here in my possession the legendary, ultimate, powerful sword of Elbaph. Yes, believe it or not, this sword, this mighty blade, is the one thing that can kick that Lord Imu's butt. Yeah. Forget about Monkey D. Luffy and all of his punches. Forget about Loki and his ultimate powerful dragon devil fruit. Forget all of that. This blade, this almighty blade, is the only thing that can literally defeat Imu. Oh, don't believe me? Huh, well fine. Let me explain to you why, alright? Now, it is important to understand here that swords can be totally badass, alright? Really, they're cool. Especially when they're used by the right people, right? Don't believe me, ask Zoro, right? Zoro uses practically three swords, right? Well, katanas to be more precise and everything, but still, they're bladed weapons, just like a sword is a bladed weapon, okay? So really to get into this, to really explain why this sword here, this almighty sword, is the thing that can actually defeat Imu, we need to understand Imu himself, right? Alright, so let's start off with this, alright? Right now in the current storyline, Lord Imu has basically come to Elbaph, alright? I know, big shocker, right? I mean, he was literally someone who had always been in the shadows at Mary Joie, alright? A lot of people were very skeptical, even wondering and even asking, can Lord Imu even leave Mary Joie? Is he stuck there? I mean, if the Shaw's don't ever go there, and they never really meet him, is he really much of a threat? Well, to completely throw those out the door here, he had Lord Imu actually come to Elbaph, and he's literally doing stuff, right? He's actually doing things, right? And it's really also tossing things out the window for everybody else who was literally thinking, like, maybe Imu's not really that much of a powerful guy. It's like, nope, he's someone that you don't want to mess with, all right? And his primary attack abilities that he seems to be utilizing here, which we don't really have much information on it yet and everything, we don't really know the specifics on what his power entails here. But one thing to basically look at as an example here is that he might have a Delphi power, but the main difference between this is that it doesn't seem to be your typical average devil fruit power itself, right? It's not like it's the Hito no Mi model devil fruit. It's kind of here. It's practically weird in how it's basically described, because it's almost like Oda is intentionally trying to describe his power as being the devil itself, right? Rather than being some type of devil fruit that gives you the powers of the devil, it's more like he is the devil himself, right? Which is weird and also questionable to really ask what exactly is Oda planning by this, alright? Okay. So one of the biggest factors to look at is his abilities, which we are seeing in the current chapters, specifically with 1180 and 1181, right? Is his Omen ability, right? Now, Lord Imu, upon himself, something like that, is utilizing this black mist kind of thing, right? Like this black fire kind of thing, which he's basically using for his attack abilities, right? Which is interesting in itself, right? Now, we still don't know the full details of what he can actually do with this ability, what exactly it can entail, and like other limit restrictions. Like, we still haven't really figured all that out yet, okay? But we probably will learn about it. We probably will learn more about it as the chapters go on and everything, right? Now, currently, right now, Lord Imu is in the middle of a fight with Loki himself, okay? And I imagine after the fight with Loki ends, he will go off and face off against Luffy, who might even go into Sanganika, okay? So that is probably something that is very intentionally going to happen, okay? There's no doubt in my mind about that, okay? However, interesting enough, a lot of people have actually pointed out some very interesting parallels between Lord Imu and Nami, okay? Not parallels in terms of like appearances and designs like that, but no, with attacks, okay? Because if you actually notice, with a lot of Lord Imu's attacks, Lord Imu's Omen abilities like that can actually create sentient life in a way, okay? Much like how Big Mom's Delphi power, the soul fruit, can actually give life to inanimate objects by taking the souls out of living humans and actually placing them in inanimate objects, okay? Giving them sentient life, okay? Very similar in this exact manner here, okay? And a lot of people have actually mentioned here that, Nami's climate attack, because it has Zeus entitled with it, you notice some interesting parallels, like the way Imu fights and everything, and is using attack patterns that is almost identical to Nami herself, okay? A very interesting parallel, okay? Now, it could be Oda just basically throwing in some clever ideas, alright? Some clever things to basically throw in. right? And that if obviously just Oda throwing in some like crazy ideas that he can basically do to create an interesting parallel, an interesting story to have something to entice, okay, something to enjoy, okay. So that is very well aware, okay. All right. So while there is nothing necessarily important just yet to basically point and basically say, oh yeah, Oda is planning something with Nami and Imu, right? While that is not intentionally necessarily wrong for anyone to believe, and hey, if there is a chance that Oda is going to actually do something with that and actually going to introduce something with Nami and Imu, we'll have to wait until we get actually more concrete information rather than just Imu, basically utilizing similar attacks to how Nami does. Okay, so really we'll have to wait till we really get a big benefit factor to really enjoy that, to really see more pressing moments rather than just a few shots that are very similar here. Okay, so a lot of things when it comes to Imu's Omen ability that we have seen pretty interesting things. We saw that he can basically use his Omen to sort of create like this ball of chains like that attack and everything. Now with Nami and Zeus, because Zeus is tied to the climate attack and like that, he can create like his head into a spiked ball and like that because he can control the structure of the climate attack and change its form and everything. And with that, because he can actually use the functions of the climate attack itself to extend out his reach, but also give it more of like an elastic stretch to it, right? Like he can literally control the elasticity of it and like that, and rearrange its molecules to change its direction. Okay, so in a way, it's almost like he can actually turn the climate attack, right? He can function the climate attack and actually operate it as the ball and chain in a very similar manner here. Okay, he can like now he can literally spin around like that, and Zeus himself, because he's in control of it, he can control change its form and actually act like a ball and chain in a very similar manner here, okay? So while it is interesting, and like I said, we don't have any full concrete information just yet to really ask ourselves what is the importance of this, okay? And this Omen ability is a very interesting thing, okay? And we're only going to probably get more information out of it as soon as the chapters keep rolling and everything. Doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to always get every single details, but as time goes on and as chapters continue on, we are going to learn more about this ability itself, okay? All right. And then there's the other thing here. It's like that. Like there was originally this artwork that Oda drew and everything. I don't remember when it first came in. It's like that, but here it is right here. It's like that, so you can see for yourself. Oda did basically basically drew this picture and like that. And obviously you can figure that this shadowy creature is Imu. You have Luffy obviously trying to save Nami and like that. So you do have this crazy scenario here that maybe this could actually point or lead something to this benefit here. Okay, that maybe by chance after the fight is done, Lord Imu takes Nami back to Mary Joie. Okay, now Lord Imu did basically state that he desired to have Vivi, not Nami. So maybe there's something that actually occurs where Lord Imu recognizes Nami and like that. Maybe there's something, I'm not really sure. We'll have to wait and see. And it could be possible that when Oda did that, maybe he was initially planning on having Nami, but he decided to change his idea to Vivi. So it could be possible that Vivi's going to be that situation. But I don't want to necessarily say 100% that that's obvious and everything. It is possible, but I don't want to necessarily doubt myself and say like, oh yes, I'm absolutely positive that's what Oda's going to do. Even though there is reasons to believe it, I still want to hold off before making an absolute 100% decision, just because there are some things you can consider it. Okay. All right. So now that we got over Imu's Omen ability like that, and we've seen what he can do with it, it's like that, basically having like this black mysterious cloud like fire thing that he can control and actually change forms, right? He can use it to give himself wings. He can use it to create attacks like that. And it's not just with the weapons himself. Like he can mix it with his, combine it with his swords and his attack things. Well, technically he doesn't use a sword and everything, but the point I'm trying to make is that he can combine his omens with his weapons themselves, or he can use it with his own body, all right? So we've seen him use these abilities itself, okay? Now, this Omen ability is very powerful here, okay? But why exactly is this sword so powerful, right? Why is this sword so powerful, okay? Why can it actually defeat Imu, right? Well, let me just show you an example, okay? Let me show you why the sword is so powerful, okay? Okay. So, before I officially show off its powers like that, the first thing, before we really finish it off, I'm going to have to leave off a message, okay? Alright? This is going to be important. Alright. If you liked the video, please let me know by smashing the like button, alright? Subscribe to the channel, hit notification bells, stay tuned for another video as soon as possible, alright? Alright. Now that I got that out of the way, let me show you just how powerful this thing is, okay? Alright. This thing is so powerful that I'm literally going to end the video right now by literally just slashing a burst of Conqueror's Haki, alright? A burst of Conqueror's Haki is going to come flying towards you guys, and this video is going to end without you guys even knowing, alright? Now, just to be fair, I'm going to have a picture of Nami up. That way you guys can actually see something, worthwhile, okay? Alright. Don't blink, alright? Now, get ready, alright? Now, first, charge up the Haki, alright? I'm charging up that damn Conqueror's Haki, alright? And here we go!